about Stefon Diggs. Now, I was going to bring this up yesterday, but I totally forgot to bring this up when we were talking about the whole Cardi B thing, but we'll talk about it now. So, yeah, Stefon Diggs, there was a guy who was an influencer that I had accused Stefon of pretty much as sexual assault and things of that nature, which got to be like, let me find out Cardi B out here messing with a man that might be fluid. Not sitting up here saying like there aren't any footballers that are in the closet that might be bisexual or homosexual. Because trust and believe, there's plenty of people that are in sports that are just in the closet. So, according to page six, they said that the New England Patriots star claimed he's now filed suit against the guy that is accusing him, the social media star who's accusing him of drugging, SAing, and later conspiring to kill him. Because there was like a video or something or another where he was trying to get in the elevator and Stefan's people dragged him out of the elevator and they started beating him up. I saw that video. But anyway, so they said the New England Patriots star claimed in the court docs filed on October 1st and obtained by TMZ that the would-be social media influencer concocted a false story about an alleged incident that went down at Diggs' Rockville, Maryland home in May of 2023. Now, in the suit, Diggs claimed he, Griffith, and other influencers um, went to a club after attending a charity basketball game, in Washington, D.C. After the club outing, everyone went back to the wide receiver's home. Now, per the docs obtained by TMZ, Diggs claimed he went into his bedroom and his assistant asked Griffith to leave the home. However, 2 years later, Griffith took to social media alleging Diggs drugged and attempted to SA him and allegedly conspired to have him unalived. Now, in the suit, Diggs claimed that Griffith not only posted the allegations to his nearly 100,000 Instagram followers online, but also tagged UGG and actress Sarah Jessica Parker. Why are you tagging Carrie Bradshaw? What's she going to do? Who posed with the NFL star for the footwear company's campaign. Now, Diggs, who's 31, is seeking damages. Well, damn, Cardi, okay, she like him young, because isn't Cardi older than him, or are they around the same age? Is seeking damages and attorney fees. However, the exact amount is undisclosed. Now, in a statement to page six, Griffith's attorney, Jake Lebowitz of Posey Lebowitz PLLC, denied Diggs' fabricated claims, saying, quote, Mr. Griffith is looking forward to showing the world in court that regardless of the fairy tale fabricated by Mr. Diggs' high-priced New York lawyers, he is the victim of Mr. Diggs' unwanted sexual advances and his brother's violent attacks. Not only will we defend against these false allegations, but our counterclaims for sexual battery will be filed shortly. Now, in August, Griffin took his IG stories saying that he was disgusted that UGG hired Diggs to be the face of their campaign after the social media star filed a police report about their alleged 2023 encounter earlier that month. So he went and posted this Instagram post who said, so Stefon Diggs drugged me, attempted to SA me, and then conspired with his employees slash hitmen to organize an attack on my life that his brother, Darius Diggs, is it Derez, was charged and convicted for being involved in. And at UGG gave him a campaign spot standing alongside at Sarah Jessica Parker. Somebody's got to do their homework. I'm disgusted, and there's like a green face emoji and a throw up emoji. So then he posted this other thing which says at can you read code MCPD incident report, which was that says that this report is an overview of the facts and circumstances surrounding the investigation. This report is not meant to be exhaustive. Rather, it is intended to serve as a general outline of the investigation. On October 16, 2024, the writer was working as an on-call detective for the Montgomery County Police SBID Sex Assault Unit when a notification was received of an SA that occurred earlier, reported by Christopher Griffith, calling from California. The writer called Griffith and conducted an interview over the phone. There is an audio recording of the interview. If there is a discrepancy, the audio will take precedence. Griffith provided an email to the writer summarizing the incident. The following is that statement, not in its entirety. And they got that in parentheses. Stefon Diggs drugged and SA'd me on May 22nd, 2023, and then 1 week later conspired to have me unalive on May 29th, 2023 to suppress his gay slash bisexual secrets from becoming exposed after I denied his sexual advances and now knew his secret. I was staying at his home in Rockville for one night on May 21st to May 22nd, 2023. Around 1 a.m. in the early morning of May 22nd, 2023, he and I left his Rockville, Maryland residence per his suggestion to go out to a couple of clubs in DC. He'd offered me all sorts of candy throughout the night. I didn't know it was laced with drugs. I denied some, but after a while, I got hungry and finally accepted some candy. Well, I'm laughing at that. It's like, oh, I got hungry, so I accepted some candy. Because one time I did some foolishness. One time, what I did was, and I'll get back into the rest of the incident report. I was so hungry when I was out drinking, whatever, and I went to the club. What was it? It was oh my god, it was a club in Brooklyn. And well, I don't know if y'all know this, but in some of the Brooklyn clubs, they do not only do they serve alcohol, but there's people who walk around with like edibles and things like the other. So yeah, in the Brooklyn spots, they be selling weed and things. So I bought me like this big old Rice Krispie treat, and my greedy ass decides to eat the whole thing. So that's why I was like, I got hungry, so I ate some candy. So that's what that reminded me of. That's why I was laughing. But anyway, we can get back into the story. So he said that candy drug he gave me made my pupils so big I couldn't even see my eye color. I couldn't even see my eye color. Made my skin tingle to the touch, made my body pulsate to music, increased my sex drive in intense form, made it hard for me to form words into sentences, among other things. Maybe he's on that Molly. We arrived back to his residence around 4 a.m. hour of May 21st, 2023. And after driving in a two-seater Porsche where it was just us in the car, he put his arm around me, put his tongue in my ear in a kissing fashion while whispering to me to come into his room. He put his arm around me like a brother would do, which is why I didn't find it odd. But when his arm was around me, he was gripping my shoulder, forcibly pulling me closer to him, which took away the distance that was once between us, then pulled his move. I found it harder than normal to exert force because of whatever substance he drugged me with, and he likely was expecting me at this point to be sedated by whatever he drugged me with earlier in the night. With an ear drenched in his saliva, and now realizing I've been drugged, we walked into his residence. He went left and walked up a spiral staircase to his bedroom while I'm right down a long hallway to the bathroom, and I was at the end of the hallway around and for 45 minutes. I was splashing water on my face trying to sober up from whatever he drugged me with while trying to plant my escape from his enormous property. I came out of the bathroom and was confronted by two women and one male who asked me to corroborate a story. I was asked several times, so what are you going to say when you leave here? I was asked to regurgitate the story they asked me to corroborate back to them repeatedly. I was then stripped of my clothes, robbed of my belongings, robbed of things I care not mention until I speak to the active detective on my case, beaten and forced in a car where I didn't even know the destination. I was robbed of my silver titanium Ramoa truck, jewelry, and more. They stole a minimum of $30,000 to $50,000 of my and then it cuts off because I don't have the rest of it, unfortunately. But child, that was all the detail that we got in regards to that situation. And here's the thing: not somebody said y'all gonna let Aaron Hernandez 2.0 just run without penalty. Not y'all comparing him to Aaron Hernandez, but y'all, if y'all know that story, and plus they did a docu series on like what was it? Was it American Crime Story that they called it? Rand Murphy got so many different iterations of his damn shows. I can't keep up. But they did do a one with Aaron Hernandez and was like a closeted football player who was trying to perpetuate this gangster lifestyle, but also like hunching dudes, allegedly. And trust and believe, there's a lot of men who they aren't all like not all gay men run around voguing, pop dipping and spinning, and doing, you know, hair, makeup, and drag and all that other stuff. There are men who are that on the outside have, masculine appeal, but like the comfort of someone of the same gender. And because of societal pressures and because of homophobia and all those other things, a lot of these men can't feel like they can be their authentic selves. So some, not all, feel like they have to get in these situations where the only way I can get my rocks off I gotta drug you allegedly. I gotta pull little SA stunts on you allegedly in order to get my rocks off. So if this is true, child, Bacardi, what you get yourself into? So, um, in addition to his child with Cardi B that she gave birth to earlier this month, he also has children with Nova and Charlie, Charile. That's why I said Charlie, with whom he shares with two different women. So he got three kids with three different women. Now, in September 2025, Page Six reported that a woman named Eileen LaPera filed a paternity suit against Diggs, claiming that he was the father of her daughter, Charlie. And yes, that's when they found out that, yeah, the results came back, and Maury Povich said, Stefon, you are the father. And then, of course, everybody's running around the studio screaming and everything, and he's gagging. But, and you know how they do over there on the Maury Povich show, or how they did when the show was popping. So, yeah, that's the latest on this story. And that was messy and juicy. But I'm not that I'm gloating over somebody's alleged SA, but I'm like, child, the closet cases out, y'all are carrying. What are y'all doing out here in these streets? But yeah, that's the latest on that story. I'll definitely keep you all abreast of the story as it develops. But when he was talking about they robbed him of all these things, I hope he got the car and everything back, because how you just going to take that man's stuff just because you want him to be, because y'all all part of the entourage and y'all allegedly know how Stefon get down. So y'all are all about trying to protect the image and doing what y'all need to do to make sure that he don't come out and spill that man tea, because y'all want to be a part of, y'all want to continue to make y'all little money from that whole situation. So yeah, that's the latest on that. I definitely want to hear from y'all. Do you believe the story? If you don't believe the story, let me know what your overall thoughts on this story are in the comments down below.